Well, Coach, let me ask you, first of all, how many times did you bring up, remember the first time we played these guys, boys?
Yeah, I think, well, not until yesterday, or actually it started on Tuesday after the Albany game. That was really our focus. And, I think, to touch on that game a little bit, the best preparation for playing a team like West Central, who has active hands, who's athletic, who can beat you inside and outside, is to play against a team like Albany. That was our best preparation. And so I think people look at that game and they look at that Albany game and, oh my, you got your butt kicked, and we did. But you never know how it'd be, but I think that's a reason we won tonight, was that game. Not that we were like refocused or or upset or it remotivated us. It was just getting us ready to play in a game like tonight. And so, when we lost down at their place at West Central and really just got it handed to us, we just said, let's circle February 9th on our calendar. Let's just put it all in the back of our head. And we won't really talk about it until we get to February 8th. And the guys remembered that feeling and really helped us with that, because that's what's fun with conference teams. You play them twice and you see how things develop and how people develop. And really proud of that. Really proud of the effort.
As you talked about, certainly a physical game against Albany, and you're kind of used to that physical play in the conference, but to me, that really wasn't the case tonight in the way it was handled. Was that hard to adjust to?
That today wasn't as physical, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you always have to adjust to the kind of how it's called. Now, that Tuesday night, they let us play a little bit, and it becomes a very physical game. And today they called it really tight, which is fine. So then we had to adjust to that, and I think maybe that took a little physicality out of it. And just our guys did a pretty good job of adjusting to that. And so, but we want to be physical. We like to be physical. It's kind of our team and kind of the way our guys are. But you do have to adjust to the officials and just to kind of how you're feeling and kind of how things are going. As you go through each game.
Well, I like to point out football players, first of all. They're going to hit you out there because they're strong, they're linemen. I'm talking about Hunter Goyle and Fernando Becerra. We've talked about Fernando before and just how he has really improved his basketball skills, but tonight he really stepped up, didn't he?
10 points for Fernando. Nobody would have ever predicted that would have happened. But he's such a wonderful kid, and he just works so hard, and he's just kind of always ready to do what his role asks. And he had 5 shots, but he's never going to create anything for himself. He's got to move into open spots, and he's got to catch passes and make layups, and that's what he did tonight. So it's so fun to be able to see a guy like that, to be able to get in there and kind of shine a little bit, because he does so many of those little things that nobody notices. So guys are so excited for him.
There's another player, too. I look at Gore Rui. When Gore first started playing, you could see he was tall, and he's not going to be the most physical guy out there. I guess I've always shied away from. I have no idea. What does he weigh?
No idea, and I don't want to know.
I know.
Probably what I weighed in 4th grade.
I know. There's not a lot of weight to him, but he has skills, though, doesn't he?
He does. And the one thing with Gore is from a young age, he was like always in the gym, probably when he wasn't supposed to. All of a sudden, we'd be like at varsity practice, and he's kind of just hanging around, and he always loved the game. And you could just kind of tell that, there's an intriguing player who is kind of likes to handle the ball, and all of a sudden now he's 6'8". He's shooting almost 40% from threes. He's shooting a high percentage from 2. He's got length, and the strength factor isn't there, but boy, 6'8" with long arms gives you some things, and active hands and some of those types of things. So it's been fun to see him. One of the things coming into this year is we kind of said to ourselves, if we're going to be good, Gore's got to be good. He has that upside, and boy, he's turned into an all-conference player.
I should give you some inside information. I heard a sister before the game tell a teammate, no, Gore's 6'9" now.
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be. I mean, we measured him, but his darn hair sticks up so much that, I can't tell if he's 6'7" with 2 inches of hair or how that works.
When we watch Ronnie Engelmeyer, there's no doubt he always draws a crowd. Do his teammates realize that and to position themselves in a spot to where they know they're going to get maybe a look, or how do you adjust to all of that?
Yeah, absolutely. We talk so much about trying to move to open spots and move to score, and I think sometimes when you play with a really good player and they've played with him for years, you sometimes stand and watch. You sometimes not like watch in awe, but like watch in that, well, he's going to make a play because that's what he's done. And so our guys have struggled with that a little bit, and we've really tried to work with them on, hey, he's going to draw attention. You've got to be able to move to open spots, whether it's repositioning, respacing, maybe it's a back cut, and we really, I think, at the second half of Bold, really did a much better job, and we've been a better job of doing that. Of you've got to be able to move to find ways for yourself to get open.
Okay, I got to ask you about Albany. You saw them on Tuesday firsthand. You get them again next week. Let me ask you this in this way. Tell me the weaknesses of the Albany team.
I would say if their bus doesn't start, that might be their only weakness.
Yeah.
They got it all. I mean, they got the guard play, they got the physicality, they got the inside play, they got the depth. Tremendously well coached and prepared, and they're junkies. Those guys, you can just tell they're basketball junkies, high IQ type guys who put in a lot of effort. And so, I mean, they're a state championship level team. There's no question about it. I think I said early on in the year, I'm not sure they were at the level Annandale was last year, but I was wrong. They're at that level with that, and so everyone's going to try to knock them off, right? But they're definitely a top 5, top 3-ish team in state.
Okay, now, Tuesday, a big game, because when you look at the Section 6AA and Osakis, I saw Osakis play on Saturday, and they were shooting lights out in their game. And so what are those guys like on Tuesday?
Well, first of all, biggest game of the year, no doubt. We play them once, close to them in seeding. Winner of that game might have a chance to bump in front, possibly. It's going to be very, very difficult. They're extremely well coached. Those guys have been playing together for a really long time. They shoot the ball well, and especially when they shoot the ball well, they are a very dangerous team. And even if they don't shoot the ball well, they're just solid and tough matchups for teams. So, we have our work cut out for us. Our guys will be ready. We have, we're off until then. And so we're really looking forward. It should be a playoff type game.